In this video I will discuss about 5 causes of retinal artery occlusion. This is the 4th part of Retinal Arterial Occlusion series. Links of other parts are available in the description. The 5 causes that can lead to retinal artery occlusions are: 1. Atherosclerosis-Related Thrombosis. 2. Emboli from the carotid artery. 3. Retinal arteritis with obliteration. 4. Angiospasm. 5. Thrombophilic disorders. Point to be remembered is that atherosclerosis-related thrombosis causes 75% of all cases of retinal artery occlusion. Cause number 1. Atherosclerosis-related thrombosis. First, let's know what is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the slow buildup of fatty plaques, like cholesterol, calcium, inside the walls of an artery, which narrows the passageway. Here, in this figure you can see, this is the normal arterial passageway, and here due to formation of atherosclerosis, the arterial passageway becomes narrower. Now, we understand how atherosclerosis narrows the passageway, but how does atherosclerosis completely occlude the central retinal artery? Let's know in the next slide.
Preparing for optometry government exams? Enroll our course to get access. Premium lecture, fundamental videos, notes, MCQs, previous year MCQs, mock tests and more. Check course overview in description.
How does atherosclerosis completely occlude the central retinal artery? When one of these plaques ruptures, it releases fat and debris that triggered blood to rapidly solidify, which is known as thrombus, into a solid mass exactly on top of it. Because this is already the absolute tightest bottleneck in the entire pathway, the clot completely and permanently seals off the artery. A point to be remembered is that this atherosclerosis is formed at the lamina cribrosa. You might be thinking, why does atherosclerosis form at the lamina cribrosa? Let's see in the next slide. Why does atherosclerosis form at the lamina cribrosa? Central retinal artery passes through the lamina cribrosa, which is very stiff and rigid hole-like structures. The central retinal artery is tightly pinned inside this rigid hole. When there is high blood flow, like in hypertension, the arteries in other area can expand, but in lamina cribrosa central retinal artery can't expand due to the stiffness makes this area narrower. The increased blood flow damage endothelium of the inner surface of the artery. Damaged endothelium becomes rough, atherosclerotic plaques and thrombi can easily form. Now cause number 2, emboli from the carotid artery. First, let's understand what is emboli. An embolus is a piece of debris, cholesterol, calcium, or clotted blood that breaks from a larger vessel elsewhere and transferred to retinal artery by bloodstream. Here in this figure, you can see, this is a larger vessel away from eye, from which a piece of debris is released into blood, and the bloodstream carry the emboli to the retinal artery that can lead to occlusion. The difference between thrombus and emboli is thrombus formed at the site of occlusion, where emboli breaks off from a larger vessel elsewhere and brought to site of occlusion by bloodstream. Point to be remembered. If the emboli is larger size, then it will stick at the level of lamina cribrosa that will lead to central retinal artery occlusion. If the emboli is smaller size, then it will pass through the lamina cribrosa and stick at arterial branch that will lead to branch retinal artery occlusion. Now, cause number 3, retinal arteritis with obliteration. First, let's know what is arteritis and what is obliteration. Arteritis means severe inflammation or swelling of the arterial wall, caused by autoimmune diseases like giant cell arteritis or temporal arteritis. Obliteration means the swelling is so severe that it completely closes the opening of the artery. Here in this figure, you can see this is a normal arterial passageway. This artery is having inflammation that is called arteritis, due to which the passageway is narrower. And this is obliteration of artery where the swelling is so severe that the arterial passageway is completely occluded. Let's see how arteritis causes retinal artery occlusion. Arteritis leads to inflammation or swelling, due to which the artery swells inward. When inflammation is so severe, inner wall touches each other that completely occlude the artery.
Preparing for optometry license exams? Enroll our course to get access. Premium lecture, fundamental videos, notes, MCQs, previous year MCQs, mock tests and more. Check course overview in description.
Cause number 4. Angiospasm or vasospasm. First, let's understand what is angiospasm. Angiospasm is a sudden, temporary, and involuntary contraction of the smooth muscle layer surrounding the wall of a blood vessel. Here, in this figure you can see, this is normal arterial passageway, and here due to angiospasm the arterial passageway is narrower. Now, let's understand how angiospasm can lead to retinal artery occlusion. If the contraction is severe, then the inner walls touch each other that completely occlude the artery. As it's temporary, it causes temporary vision loss, but if the spasm is severe enough and lasts too long, the lack of oxygen leads to permanent cell death in the retina, resulting in a true occlusion. Cause number 5. Thrombophilic disorders. First, let's understand what thrombophilic disorders is. It's a condition where the body's natural blood thinning mechanisms fail, making the blood abnormally prone to clotting. Here, in this figure you can see due to thrombophilic disorders the blood is clotting inside the artery though the artery is clean and healthy. Now, let's know how thrombophilic disorders causes retinal artery occlusion. The patient is having perfectly clean, healthy arteries with no atherosclerosis or traveling emboli. But due to thrombophilic disorders their sticky blood can spontaneously clot inside and occlude the artery. Now, let's practice few MCQs. Question 1. Atherosclerosis causes 75% of retinal artery occlusions. Why is the lamina cribrosa the primary site for these atherosclerotic plaques to form? Option A. It lacks endothelial lining. Option B. High oxygen demand area. Option C. Rigid structure prevents expansion. Option D. Natural pooling of cholesterol. The correct answer is C. Rigid structure prevents expansion. Explanation. The central retinal artery is tightly pinned inside the stiff, rigid hole of the lamina cribrosa. When blood flow increases, like in hypertension, the artery cannot expand outward. This stiffness damages the inner endothelium, creating a rough surface where plaques easily form. Question 2. A traveling embolus reaches the eye but bypasses the central retinal artery entirely, lead to a branch retinal artery occlusion. What determined this specific occlusion site? Option A. High local blood pressure. Option B. The embolus was small. Option C. Severe local wall inflammation. Option D. Spontaneous blood coagulation. The correct answer is B. The embolus was small. Explanation. If an embolus is large, it gets stuck at the tight bottleneck of the lamina cribrosa, leading to a central retinal artery occlusion. A smaller embolus can pass through this bottleneck and will only get stuck further downstream in an arterial branch. Question 3. In a patient suffering from giant cell arteritis, How does the disease physically trigger a retinal artery occlusion without the presence of any blood clot or traveling debris? Option A. Temporary smooth muscle spasm. Option B. Sudden blood protein clotting. Option C. Severe inward wall swelling. Option D. Rupture of a plaque. The correct answer is C. Severe inward wall swelling. Explanation: Arteritis is severe inflammation of the arterial wall itself. This swelling pushes inward until the inner walls physically touch each other. This is called obliteration, which completely closes off the artery without needing a thrombus or embolus. Question 4. Angiospasm typically causes only temporary vision loss because the vessel eventually relaxes. Under what specific condition does this sudden contraction lead to a true, permanent retinal artery occlusion? Option A. Triggers an autoimmune response. Option B. Spasm lasts too long. Option C. Endothelium gets permanently torn. Option D. Clots form inside spasm. The correct answer is B. Spasm lasts too long. Explanation: Angiospasm is an involuntary contraction of the smooth muscle layer. If this contraction is severe enough and lasts for too long, the resulting prolonged lack of oxygen leads to permanent cell death in the retina. Question 5. A young patient suffers a retinal artery occlusion. Clinical imaging reveals perfectly clean, healthy arterial walls with zero atherosclerosis and no traveling debris from the heart or neck. What is the most likely pathological mechanism? Option A. Autoimmune wall swelling. Option B. Spontaneous internal blood clotting. Option C. Severe smooth muscle spasm. Option D. Sudden plaque core rupture. The correct answer is B. Spontaneous internal blood clotting. Explanation: In thrombophilic disorders, the body's natural blood thinning mechanisms fail. This makes the patient's sticky blood abnormally prone to clotting, allowing it to spontaneously solidify inside a perfectly clean and healthy artery. Stay with Smart Optometry and study optometry smartly.